So greetings of the day and welcome to the session, all of you. So in the previous session, we have learnt about SWOT analysis. And I told you that this SWOT analysis is a very important concept for making a competitive strategy. And let us see just what is a strength, what is a weakness, what is an opportunity, and what is a threat. See, already we learnt, but just we make a quick revision because this is very important. So now what is a strength? A strength is an inherent capability of the firm to gain strategic advantage over its competitors. And what is a weakness? It is an inherent limitation or constraint of the firm which creates strategic disadvantage to it. And now what is an opportunity? It is a favorable condition in the firm's environment which enables it to strengthen its position. So opportunity is a favorable condition. And threat is an unfavorable condition in the firm's environment which causes a risk or damage to the firm's position. And now what is the advantage of SWOT analysis for an organization? See, using SWOT analysis, you can have a logical framework to better understand the competitive position of your country. You can understand your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats properly. So that SWOT analysis gives you a chance to understand about the strategic position of your company in the marketplace. So that is, it provides a logical framework, and it presents a comparative account, because here we compare the internal environment with the external environment. Strengths and weaknesses are internal, whereas opportunities and threats are external. So that kind of analysis is possible. And it guides the strategist in strategy identification. See, we have two kinds of strategies, offensive strategy and defensive strategy. So this offensive strategy and defensive strategy can be identified using the SWOT analysis. So this is the importance of SWOT analysis for making a competitive strategy. Now we are going to learn about the TOWS matrix, which is based on SWOT analysis. See, SWOT is an analysis. Okay, it is a planning tool. SWOT will be helpful to you to plan your strategy. But the knowledge of SWOT is not completely enough to make a competitive strategy. So that SWOT analysis should be supplemented by TOWS matrix. Okay, to analyze the strategic situation of a particular company. So this TOWS matrix proposed by Heinz Weyrich is a very important concept to make better use of the SWOT analysis and to make practical decisions regarding the competitive situation of your organization. Okay. See, we can think of SWOT analysis as a diagnostic test. SWOT analysis is a diagnostic test. See, for example, if we go to a doctor with some problem, now doctor will ask us to undergo some diagnostic tests, some blood tests, in order to identify the situation, in order to know what is the problem. But the diagnostic test reports are itself not sufficient to get rid of the disease. Using those diagnostic test reports, we have to use the medicines prescribed by the doctor, and then only we can get rid of the disease. So now this SWOT analysis is your diagnostic report, which tells what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are your opportunities, and what are your threats. But just by knowing our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats, we cannot do anything. That is fairly important, but we have to take some action based on those, based on that particular analysis of SWOT. So now TOWS is an excellent tool. Okay, I'm sorry. So this TOWS is an excellent tool for deciding what kind of strategy we need to use and what kind of opportunities we need to use and how to face the threats. That means you have to make a matching. This is the most important word. We have to make a matching of our strengths and opportunities. Like, see, we have in SWOT analysis, we have strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. But it is not just enough if you keep your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats separately. What you have to do is, you have to match them. That means, using what strengths, you can make use of what opportunities. Using what strengths, you can face your threats. Using what opportunities, you can reduce your weaknesses. What are your weaknesses and threats which you have to be very careful. So, a matching of this kind, strengths and opportunities, strengths and threats, opportunities and weaknesses and threats. This is very much essential to get a better understanding of your competitive strategy, how to make your competitive strategy. Because this entire lesson talks about competitive strategy, how to get competitive advantage. So, these are all the dynamics, means the different forces which affects your competitive strategy. See, now let us try to understand. For example, an organization is having the following SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Say for example, it is having a very good distribution capacity. Okay? Distribution capacity. An organization is having a very good distribution capacity. Okay? And it is also having good financial stability. And it is also having good employee relations. Good employee relations. And it is also having good R&D capability, research and development capability. And it is also having branch network. Okay? Branch network. So, let us assume that these are all the strengths of a particular organization. Now, come to weaknesses. The weaknesses may be not having good relations with suppliers, okay, and not launching innovative products, and not upgrading its products, okay. And let us take another particular thing, that the company is not up to the mark in reaching the customer expectations, okay, not reaching customer expectations. So, these just we are taking some example to make you understand the TOWS concept. Now, we have strengths, weaknesses, opportunity and strengths and weaknesses. Now, let us know what are the opportunities for the company. Now, it has an opportunity to acquire a innovative firm. And it has an opportunity to expand into foreign market, and it has an opportunity to launch new products into the market, and it has an opportunity to collaborate with foreign companies. Let us assume that these are the opportunities for a particular company. Now, let us see the threats. Government regulations, regarding pollution and changing tastes and preferences. Changing tastes and preferences of the customers. And the third one is technology change. So let us assume this is the situation of a particular company. It is having the following strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Now, what I am telling you is, just by knowing these things, it is not enough to formulate a very good competitive strategy. Just by knowing the SWOT in an exclusive manner, in a separate manner. What we have to do is, we have to mix and match. That means, with what strength you can make use of what opportunity. That is, we need to have a matrix like this: strengths and opportunities, strengths and weaknesses, weaknesses and opportunities, and strengths and threats like this. Now, by taking the SWOT analysis, say for example, what is the first opportunity? Acquire an innovative firm. A very small firm which is having lot of innovation, lot of creativity is available to be acquired. Now, do you have the strength to make use of that opportunity? That is the question here. So now what are our strengths? We have good distribution capability, we have good financial strength, we have good employee relations, we have good research and development capabilities, and we have great branch network. Now, out of all these strengths, which one is helpful to you to acquire an innovative firm? Definitely the financial stability. Now, you can get a clarity that by using strength number 2, that is financial capability, okay, by using second strength, that is financial capability, you can make use of opportunity 1. This is one set. So, in this way you need to make strength 2 with opportunity 1. That is the right matching. That is the right mix. And likewise, you have another opportunity that launch new products. If you launch new products into the market, there is a market existing for that. People are waiting for launching a new product. But for launching a new product, what you require is a lot of research and development. And already you have a good strength of research and development. So you can use that research and development capability to launch a new product into the market. So research and development is strength 4 and launching a new product is opportunity 3. Now S4, O3. The first one S4, O1. S2, O1. That means with strength 2, you can make use of opportunity 1. Likewise, with strength 4, you can make use of opportunity 3. Now let us look at strengths and weaknesses. What is the weakness? Not having good relationship with suppliers. Can you do anything for regarding this? Can you do anything to have good relationships with your suppliers? Do you have any strengths that will be helpful to have good relations with suppliers? Not there. And no innovative products are launched by your organization. Now, you can make use of your research and development and also good employee relations to launch innovative products into the markets. Now, strengths, what are your strengths? Strength 4 and strength 2. Okay, not strength 2, strength 4 and strength 3. Using these two, you can come across weakness 2. So in this way, you have to mix and match. That means, what is weakness 2? Not launching innovative products into the market. Now that problem, that weakness, that constraint can be removed by using the strengths like good employee relations and research and development. So in that way, you need to make a mix and match. And likewise, weaknesses and opportunities. See, you have these opportunities like acquiring an innovative firm, expand into foreign market, launch new products, collaborate with foreign companies. Okay. So now, you have a weakness called not reaching customer expectations. You could not reach your customer expectations. Now, how can you do that? You can do that by launching new products into the market. That means weakness 4 can be addressed using opportunity 3. So weakness 4, opportunity 3. What is your weakness 4? Not launching innovative products into the market. What is your opportunity 3? It is by launching new products into the market. So weakness 4 can be overcome by using opportunity 3. Likewise, strengths and it is not strengths and threats. It is weaknesses and threats. Okay, how you can face the weaknesses and threats? That is, you have a government regulation regarding the pollution and you are not reaching the customer expectations or you are not upgrading. So you have to be very careful on weakness 3 with weakness 1. With threat 1. Weakness 3 with threat 1. So in this way, you have to make a matching of your strengths and opportunities, strengths and weaknesses, weaknesses and opportunities, and weakness and threats. Then this is more useful than the SWOT analysis. But without SWOT analysis, you cannot make this TAUS matrix. So that is why TAUS matrix is an action tool. TAUS matrix is an action tool. That means what action we can make by using our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats can be known by TAUS matrix. But what is the base for this TAUS matrix? The base for TAUS matrix is SWOT analysis. Without SWOT analysis, you cannot make a TAUS matrix. But SWOT analysis in itself is not very useful. SWOT analysis combined with TAUS matrix gives you a better understanding regarding your approach, what you have to do, how you have to face the situation, what kind of strategy you should make. So TAUS matrix gives lot of understanding. So this is the important concept of TAUS matrix. Very, very useful. Because just I have told you in the example, your diagnostic test reports are just helpful to you to know about the disease. But in order to get rid of the disease, what prescription doctor makes, that is very important. So SWOT is like your diagnostic report, which tells this is your strength, this is your weakness, this is your opportunity, this is your threat. Now what you have to do? Is it enough just to know your SWOT? No, it is not enough. Now you have to make a strategy so that how you can use your strengths. That is very important, no? See, again, here two questions. What and how? What you possess is given by SWOT analysis. And how you deal with that? How you can move forward? What you can do? That all will be given by TAUS matrix. So SWOT only tells what? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your opportunities? What are your threats? But TAUS will tell you how. How to make use of these strengths. How to make use of these strengths to utilize the opportunities. How to make use of your opportunities to overcome your weaknesses. How? In what way? Which strength is used for which opportunity? Which weakness is removed by using which opportunity? So this understanding, this clarity we need to have. So that clarity is given by TAUS matrix. Okay, a very important thing. Now let's start reading this TAUS matrix. Through SWOT analysis, organizations identify their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Yes, that is right. SWOT analysis will help you to identify, just to know what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are your opportunities and what are your threats. So SWOT analysis will help you to identify all the four things separately. Now, while conducting the SWOT analysis, managers are often not able to come to a conclusion about the strategic alternatives that are relevant to them. Yes, this is the biggest issue in SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis only help you to identify, but it will not help you to arrive at the conclusions. Conclusions means actions. What action you should do? That SWOT analysis will not give you. Then who will give you that? It is Tauss matrix. It is Tauss matrix who gives you, or which gives you a conclusion or the action what you have to perform using your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Okay. Heinz-Weyrich developed a matrix called Tauss matrix by matching. The most important word in Tauss matrix is matching. What do you mean by matching? This is what I have shown, no? Matching is this one. You have to match your strengths with the opportunities, like this. And you have to match your weaknesses with the opportunities. You have to match the weaknesses and traits. You have to match the strengths and weaknesses. So this matching is very important. Only when you match your strengths with the opportunities, your strengths with the weaknesses, your strengths with the threats, then only you can get a better understanding of the situation. So, by matching the strengths and weaknesses of an organization with the external opportunities and threats. So, how do we do that? See, here we have internal elements, organizational strengths, organizational weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Now, we will match like this, SO, strengths and opportunities. But strengths are your maximum capabilities and opportunities are the maximum things which you can use to consolidate your strengths. So, SO, that is called as a maxi-maxi situation. That means that is a very good situation. You have very good strengths and you have very good opportunities. SO. Likewise, WO, that is weaknesses and opportunities. Okay, mini-maxi. Likewise, ST, maxi-mini, strengths and threats. Likewise, WT, weaknesses and threats. So, what you can do to handle all those things. So, this you need to understand. The incremental benefit of the Tauss matrix lies in systematically identifying the relationships between these factors and selecting strategies on their basis. This is a very important point. The incremental benefit means the additional benefit that you get by using Tauss matrix is what? See, already we had SWOT analysis. Already we have known our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Now, what advantage or what benefit the Tauss matrix is going to you, is going to give you? That is very important. That we need to understand. So, the incremental benefit of Tauss matrix lies in systematically identifying relationships between these factors. Which factors? SWOT. These are the factors. So, systematically identifying the relationship. Relationship means here matching. What is the relationship between the strengths and opportunities? See, until and unless you join the things, you will not know exactly what should be your strategy. Okay. So, what should be done with the strength? How can you make use of a particular opportunity with a strength? How can you overcome a particular threat with a strength? This you need to understand. Thus, Tauss matrix has a wider scope when compared to SWOT analysis. It does not mean that SWOT analysis is degraded, or it does not mean that SWOT analysis is not very useful. It is not like that. Tauss matrix gives an extended benefit, an incremental benefit when combined with SWOT analysis. Of course, you cannot draw Tauss matrix without SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is the base. Using SWOT analysis only we make Tauss matrix. Okay. But the Tauss matrix has a wider scope. In what way it is having wider scope? Because Tauss matrix will help you to decide about the choices. What you should do. How you should combine. See, here two things are there. just knowing what you have, and you should also know how you can combine the things what you have to achieve your objective. That is again what and how. What you have, how you should move forward. So what you have will be given by the SWOT analysis, how you should make use of what you have, and how to gain competitive advantage in the marketplace by having a competitive strategy is given by the TOWS matrix. So TOWS tells you how, SWOT tells you what you have. Okay, and TOWS analysis is an action tool. It is an action tool. Why it is an action tool? Because it is telling you, what you can do. SWOT is not telling what you can do. SWOT is telling your analysis, that's all. SWOT is telling this is what. But what should we do? How we should move forward? So that is given by TOWS analysis. So TOWS analysis is an action tool. It will be helpful to take proper strategic choices. So TOWS analysis is an action tool, whereas SWOT analysis is a planning tool. Planning tool means what? You definitely require SWOT analysis in order to plan your strategies. But what kind of action we need to take? Okay, see, planning will just tell you that in this way we have to do. But how to do that? That will be given by the TOWS matrix. So alternate strategic choices. Through TOWS matrix, 4 distinct alternative kinds of strategic choices can be identified. What are they? First one, SO, maxi, or it can also be called as aggressive strategy or offensive strategy. That is what I am telling you, all the time we have 2 extreme strategies. First one is offensive strategy or aggressive strategy. When will you follow that offensive strategy? That means moving forward without taking anything into consideration. When can you have that strategy? Only when you have good number of strengths and also there are good number of opportunities in the market. Now, you can make use of your strengths to utilize the opportunities in the external environment and you can go forward. You can go in an aggressive manner. No one is going to stop you. You can try to beat your competitors. You can try to attract the market share. You can strengthen yourself further and you can get lot of market share, competitive advantage. So what you should do to get all this? You have to combine your strengths and opportunities. So the right mix and match of the strengths and opportunities will definitely gives you a aggressive strategy or an offensive strategy which you can make use to get the best out of the market. You can try to get the best competitive advantage. Okay. So SO, strengths and opportunities, is a position that any firm would like to achieve. Yes. Every firm wants to have this kind of situation, having lot of opportunities externally and having good number of strengths internally. Now, if you match your internal strengths with the external opportunities, you can definitely do good, do well and achieve greater market share. The strengths can be used to capitalize and build upon existing or emerging opportunities. Here again, the most important word is capitalize. Capitalize means utilize. To make the best use of something is called capitalizing. So, always you should think, how can I make the best use of the emerging opportunities or the opportunities already I have? How I can do that? For making the best use of the opportunities or capitalizing the opportunities, you need to have good number of strengths. Do you have them? So, what strength you have to utilize the opportunity? This you have to mix and match. That is very important. And the second one is strengths and threats. Conservative strategy it is called as. Conservative means, see, you are facing lot of threats in the external environment like climate change, technology change, government regulations, changing tastes and preferences of the customers. these are different threats. Okay, now how can you make use of your strengths to overcome those threats? In that direction also you need to understand. See how much clarity the Tauss matrix is giving. Tauss matrix is giving you a lot of clarity regarding your approach, regarding what you should do. Okay, so ST is maxi-mini, or it is also called as conservative strategy. See, ST is a position in which a firm strives to minimize the existing or emerging threats through its strengths. See, strengths are used in a multi-purpose manner. Some strengths are used to capitalize the opportunities, and some strengths are used to minimize the threats. See, large companies which are having lot of strengths, they are not worried about the threats because they are in a position to overcome those threats and convert or transform those threats into advantages. How can you do that, sir? How can we do that? How can we transform, or how can we change a threat into an advantage to the firm? Yes, you can definitely do that if you have lot of strengths. For example, technology change is the biggest threat. Now, if you have good R&D capability and financial stability, using these two strengths of research and development capability and financial strength, you can do a lot of intensive research and you can be a pioneer. Pioneer means what? First in doing something. So you can make a better technology and you can overcome that threat and you can turn that into an advantage. For example, some of your rivals are there, some of your competitors are there. They are not having good research and development capability and financial stability. And some people, they have good research and development capability, but they don't have financial stability. But you have both, for example. Then using these two strengths, definitely you can address the threat that is coming in the market, that is coming in the marketplace. So in this way, you have to decide on your actions, on your approach, what you have to do. Okay. And the third one is mini-maxi, that is weaknesses and opportunities. That is called as competitive strategy. That means how can you overcome your internal weaknesses with capitalizing the opportunities or exploiting. Exploiting means making the best use of, okay, opportunities to the maximum. See, certainly when we have lot of weaknesses, say for example, if your weakness is not launching innovative products into the marketplace. Now if you have a opportunity to collaborate with foreign players, or you have a opportunity to collaborate with other organizations, now you can use this opportunity to overcome that particular weakness. So this way you have to think. And in order to think like this, what is required? A complete table of your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats are required, isn't it? Without having a complete knowledge of your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats, can you make use of, can you do all these things? You cannot do. So that is the importance of SWOT analysis. And this Tauss is an extension of that SWOT analysis, which will give you much more clarity regarding your approach. So you have lot of weaknesses. Now how to overcome those weaknesses? What opportunities can you use to overcome those weaknesses? For example, if you have an opportunity to collaborate with others, now you can use that opportunity of collaboration with foreign players, and you definitely you can come out of your weaknesses. So in that way you should make your competitive strategy. So these are the ways in which the brain of the businessman should think. Okay, the firm needs to overcome internal weaknesses and make attempts to exploit opportunities to maximum. That means what should be your approach? You have to make use of your opportunities. You have to exploit your opportunities Exploiting means making the best use, making use till the last drop. That is called exploitation. So, by exploiting the opportunities to the maximum, okay, how can you reduce your internal weaknesses? That you have to understand. And the last one is WT, mini. That means you have lot of weaknesses in the organization and you have lot of threats in the external environment, which are not addressed using your strengths and opportunities. Yes, there will be some tough situations where we have lot of weaknesses and where we have lot of threats in the external environment, which are not easily tackled or which are not easily addressed. Now, you have to be very careful and you have to follow a defensive strategy in order to protect your position. Because you can ask me a question here, sir, how many days should I follow this defensive strategy? See, you need not get this question in your mind because we are functioning in a dynamic environment. Everything changes, but you have to wait for the time to come. Until then, you have to follow the defensive strategy. See, I have told you, SWOT analysis is done for every 6 months, or in very large organization for every 15 days SWOT analysis will take place, because we are functioning in a very dynamic, constantly changing environment. So, the threat of today will not be the threat of tomorrow. The weakness of today will not be the weakness of tomorrow. They all changes. Everything changes. Sometimes opportunities change. You don't have the same set of opportunities all the time. And you will not have the same set of strengths all the time. So the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats, these are all cyclical in nature. They always change. So, for example, if you are making a Taos matrix for the coming 6 months, so in the coming 6 months, what are your weaknesses and what are your threats? That you have to find out. So in these areas, what should be my approach? See, you are helpless in this situation, no? Because you have threats as well as you have weaknesses. Now you have to move in a very cautious approach to handle those weaknesses and threats. So you need to have a defensive strategy. Now the answer to the question, how many days, sir? How many days depends on the environment, the changes that takes place in the environment. So WT is a position that any firm would like to avoid. Yes. This is not a happy situation, no? Because we have a lot of weaknesses and a lot of threats, both are negative. So this is not a happy situation. And an organization facing external threats and internal weaknesses may have to struggle for its survival. Now you have to find out the areas which require lot of caution, the areas which are going to create lot of problem to you, and accordingly you have to make the right kind of strategies. Now, by using Taos matrix, one can intelligently look at how best one can take the advantage of the opportunities open to him. At the same time, he can minimize the impact of weaknesses and protect oneself against threats. And don't you feel that definitely this Taos matrix is an intelligent approach? Don't you feel, by listening to the explanation given by me, don't you feel that Taos matrix is definitely an advantageous thing for an organization? Yes, definitely it is. Definitely it is. Okay, because SWOT is also an intelligent approach. I am not denying the fact. But Taos is much more an intelligent approach compared to SWOT. Because here we are mixing and matching. We are trying to be more precise. More precise. What tools we have will be given by SWOT. How to make use of those tools. When to make use of those tools. In what way you have to use those tools. That is given by Taos. So definitely, Taos matrix, by using Taos matrix, you can intelligently look at how best you can take the advantage of your opportunities? What strengths you can use? See, because this is the biggest problem. Many people know that there are opportunities, but they don't know how to make use of those opportunities. And they don't know what strength we have to use to make use of the opportunity. See, for example, in the example I have given here, for example, expand into foreign market. There is one opportunity called expanding into foreign market. So, what things are required? Is distribution capability helpful to you? To some extent it is helpful. But financial stability, it is more helpful. Good employee relations, that is not very much helpful. Research and development, to some extent it may be helpful. Your existing branch network here may not be helpful. So, in order to make use of the second opportunity here, what strengths are helpful? Okay, that is the most important thing. You may have some n number of strengths, but that n number of strengths, you have to precisely know what strength for what opportunity, what strength for what weakness, what strength for what threat. So, this you have to understand, and this clarity is given by the Tauss matrix. Okay, so that is the beauty of Tauss matrix, and it offers a great help to the strategist in deciding about the strategic choices that he can make to devise or formulate a competitive strategy. Okay, so that is a very important topic. Now, let us go to the last dynamics in making a competitive strategy. What it is? Global environment. See, once upon a time, while making a strategy, you need not look about the global environment. Especially I am talking in relation to Indian context. But in 1991, all of you know that we have LPG in India. We have liberalization, privatization and globalization. So, after LPG in India, a lot of opportunities are created to the business organizations because of this LPG, liberalization, privatization and globalization. So, with globalization, what is happening? With globalization, now you can freely move to any country. You can start your business there. Because in globalization, what is happening? A concept called global village is emerging. What do you mean by the concept of this global village? Means you can freely move to any part of the world and you can do business there without any trade restrictions, without any trade barriers. See, once upon a time, the biggest problem is trade barriers. Trade barriers. Now, without having these trade barriers, you can make free trade anywhere across the world. Across the world. Okay. So, these all things we will discuss in the concept of global environment. That we will do it in the next session. Thank you.